Well, what a gorgeous day. Actually, listen, it's been a gorgeous week and perfect to go for a hike. And it's no secret, this region has many wonderful hiking trails, including the most famous, the Bruce Trail. Happy to be joined by one of the volunteers from the Iroquois local Bruce Trail Club. Did I say that properly?
Yeah, Tim,
Yes.
is that you?
That is me.
Great to see you out here.
Good to see you, man. How are you, Peter?
Yeah, good. You're in my zone.
This is your zone.
This is nature at its best. It's the Niagara Escarpment. It goes all the way Queenston up to Tobermory, and we're really fortunate that some people had wisdom to develop a walking trail along the entire length.
Okay, so what is the history? Where does it date back to?
Well, back in 1960, Robert Bateman and Phil Gosling, friends, talked about developing a trail. And then from there it went a few years later, and in 1967, a number of people formed the basic Bruce Trail Conservancy.
Okay, so does it start down here? It starts down here
and so
Queenston.
Starting at Queenston at the monument. There's a monument down there, and it goes 960 kilometers up to another monument up in Tobermory.
Have you ever done it?
I've walked it. It took me 2.5 years because I'm old and I walk. I do the journey, I don't do the destination. I stop and enjoy nature. And we looked, again, 2.5 years, didn't hike when it was really cold or really hot.
But what goes into it is pretty extensive, because your club is what? The Iroquois Bruce Trail Club?
Our club, the Iroquoia Club, is down in this section, and we go from Grimsby up to actually underneath the 401 bridge up at Milton.
Okay, and then it turns into the Toronto Club.
And then it comes the Toronto Club, and then then it goes all the way up Caledon, Dufferin, Blue Mountain, Beaver Valley, Sydenham, and finally the Peninsula Club.
Is the great thing about the trail, in every different area it goes, it's a little different. You know what I mean? Like, it is the escarpment all the way, but what does this area have to offer when it comes to the Bruce Trail?
This area, because we've got the escarpment rock, and you mentioned it, I think you talked about waterfalls.
Yeah.
Hamilton has, I believe, 147 waterfalls. Now, some of them are the tremendous falls that we have, such as Sherman Falls, Albion Falls, Falkers Falls. There's smaller ones that are
You're not going to name all 147 of them?
I could if I had enough time, but it could be a hot day today. Most of them are publicly owned, whether it's by the city of Hamilton or Burlington, but there are a few that are privately owned.
Okay, we want to do a few things. We're going to take a break because we want to get down into the trail, because as a volunteer and as a member of the local club, there is work that you do. There's a lot of effort that's put into making this trail is safe, and people don't get lost, hence why you have a vest, and I want to get one of those vests, and I want to earn my stripes this morning with Peter Rumble, who happens to be the 2022 Volunteer of the Year for the Iroquois Club and the Bruce Trail. So let's pack this up, let's get motoring, let's get me a vest, and we'll explore the Bruce Trail in our region on Bolen Live. Stretching 960 kilometers from Niagara down to Tobermory, the Bruce Trail is a true gem that we have in this region. And actually, it's run all the way along by different volunteer organizations in the Hamilton area. It's run by and I think I got this wrong in the first one, didn't I, Peter? I said the Iroquois Bruce Trail Club. It's the
correct pronunciation, Iroquoia.
Iroquoia, okay. And this is Bruce Rumble, who we met in the first segment, how long have you been volunteering for, Bruce?
I've been about 15 years.
I'm calling you Bruce, but your name is Peter.
Yeah.
This is the Bruce Trail.
Who is Bruce Trail.
Right. It's not called the Peter Trail.
This isn't, this is part of the Bruce Trail. This is the Red Hill Valley Side Trail.
Oh, okay, so it's not actually in that 960 kilometers?
Each section the side trails have a name. So in this case, we're on this side trail that went from our parking lot down to connect further down along about 300 meters to the main trail.
Okay, let's kind of keep walking along here, because it's a volunteer organization. Why do you do it, Peter?
It's actually a not-for-profit charitable organization.
Okay.
the Bruce Trail model is preserving a ribbon of wilderness along the Niagara Escarpment for everyone forever. And so their goal is to maintain this footpath. Now to do that, we're on private land, we're also on public land. And about 30% of the trail is still on private land or roadways. So we're trying to reduce that and trying to have a permanent location for the trail.
How much time do you put in, like as a volunteer?
Myself,
Yeah.
I'm involved every day. I'm out on the trail most days of the week, and that's because this is what I like doing.
This is good, just good for your mental health.
Yeah,
too.
good for mental health, but 15 years, and I retired from the Ministry of Natural Resources, and it was one of my goals to do. And so slowly I worked from the house by Gage Park, and
Yeah.
I've ended up walking between Queenston and Milton, the Iroquoia area, 4 times.
How long a stretch is that?
That the distance with the Iroquoia Club was on is 160 kilometers.
Okay. You've given
But
me
I
stuff.
would walk myself.
You do it by
So
yourself?
I go out and come back.
In a day?
Well, I do little sections.
Oh, okay.
And one
We're
of the,
doing that today?
Well,
we
we're
only got so much time here, Peter.
Oh, we could do it if you wanted.
Hey,
But
Luke, you want to do it?
One of the things.
Come on, buddy. 160 kilometers? But you've given us stuff to carry, and you're wearing that.
Well, hold it. You're here to work.
Oh.
You're not here to talk. I want to get that straight. We've got in Iroquoia, we've got 150 trail maintenance volunteers.
Okay. And I'm one of them today.
And you're going to be one of them, and we're going to be out doing work on the trail.
And if you're working on the trail, you got to be wearing this to identify
you
yourself.
got to be properly attired.
Properly attired.
Safety vests, gloves, which are in the
Okay.
paint kit there.
Gloves are on.
And I notice you're wearing shorts.
Okay, so let's take a break because we're running out of time. I'm wearing shorts and maybe not the proper footwear, because let's get into some of the etiquette. Let's get into what I should be wearing, and then we'll watch Peter work. Can we come back because we're exploring the...
No, I think it's Bruce. No,
What's your
Tim.
name again? It's Tim.
Tim works.
Peter, Bruce, Luke. This on Morning Live. It's something we need to do more. Just kind of disconnect and put things away and go for a hike. And luckily in this area, morning, how are you?
Hey, good.
Luckily in this area, there are so many trails that you can explore and enjoy, including the most famous, which is the Bruce Trail. Turn around, Peter.
Yeah.
The camera's this way. Turn around this way. No, we don't
Oh.
want to be
here we
falling.
are.
We don't
Yeah,
want to
okay,
be
whoa,
falling
whoa.
over. Okay, so let me introduce you again because we might have new viewers that don't know who the heck you are.
Oh, okay.
So luckily you have a name tag on, and
Yeah.
his name is Peter Rumble, and he is the zone coordinator for the
Iroquoia.
Iroquoia Bruce Trail Club in this area, which starts in Grimsby and goes all the way to where?
The 401
Right.
Milton.
All right. I have a vest on.
Yep.
And I got these.
Clippers, yeah.
What are you doing?
Actually, this is a great location because the walker who came through
Yeah.
pointed out one of the issues that we need to deal with on this trail, and that it's the footpath, which is where you walk,
Yeah.
is quite narrow. And so we're going to be doing a couple of things here. We're going to be benching out with the mattocks, making the footpath about 6 inches wider.
Oh, you guys do that?
Yes, of course. Yeah, and because over time footpaths narrow. Now, granted, with the last 2 years of the COVID, a lot of people had been working at home and they'd been out on the trail.
So just like...
Whoa. First of all, you're wearing gloves, you've got safety glasses, you have head protection. We encourage our workers to wear long pants and boots.
Okay, fail on
And
those
because
parts.
you've got issues, potentially chip rocks will fall off or ticks.
Okay.
And ticks are all over. So
right.
you need to check yourself after today and just make
Protect.
sure.
Okay,
But
can I
what we're
start
going to
now?
do is always some safety measures when you're using a mattocks. Make sure there's nobody close to you, that you've got enough working space. Okay?
There's 2 people really close to me,
Well, and I'm going to move back, and you're not going to go crazy with the swing. You're going to do little chops.
little
yeah,
chops
and
like that.
what you're going to do is just pull it out over to the trail. Yep. Great. Yeah, that's super.
So you're out here every day doing this type of stuff?
Depending on where it is.
How many volunteers are in the group?
Well, in the Iroquoia Club, we have 150 volunteers.
Are you always looking for more?
And we're always welcome for more volunteers. We have volunteer positions of trail captains who are responsible for an individual section. And they may be the people who are out here doing it. If it's a large job, then we'll pull in our full work crew. So, but what you want to do is, yeah, you've done that really great. Now you want to spread it to level it out and move the clumps of grass over to the edge.
So this is, you would go all the way along here to
Yeah,
make a bigger area so it's safer that we're not going.
Couple feet. And one of the things is that you're continually meeting people. People are coming down. You want the trail to be wide enough. And certainly over the last 2 years, they were encouraging spacing and that business. But it is, as a rule, having a relatively level footpath is the way to go.
Peter Rumble from the Iroquoia Bruce Trail Club, which is the local Bruce Trail Club in the region. I'm out of breath. We'll keep going though.
It's hard.
We'll keep going, and then we have something else because we have to make sure people aren't getting lost. So let's save that. We'll come back. We'll come back and go
we're
get to that.
just starting. Yeah, finish up here.
Okay, finish up, and then we'll move on to the next task. Oh, that's a root. I'm gonna take that one out. Morning. It has been a fabulous morning, but a hard-working morning because I didn't know if you wanted to enjoy the Bruce Trail, which you can because it's amazing. There's so much effort that goes into making it so amazing from people.
Whoa! Careful, Tim.
People from my friend Peter Rumble, AKA Bruce.
Bruce. Okay, what you should do, Tim,
What are we
is
doing
just
here?
scrape that a little bit more.
Because what are these? What are these, Peter?
Well, okay, we're going to be painting a blue blaze.
What's a blaze?
And the size of the blaze is important. It's 2 inches wide by 6 inches tall, and that's a standard size blaze that's used by the Bruce Trail, Canada's oldest and longest hiking trail, as well as the Appalachian Trail, Adirondack Trail, Pacific Crest.
What are the
Now,
blazes identify?
There's two colors, blue, which is side trails, and they connect with the main trail that goes from Queenston to Tobermory. The side trails connect parking lots or areas of interest to the main trail. So this one leads up to the parking lot at the top of the escarpment. And so now we're just replacing the blazes. And we have to do that. We paint them every 2 years. So I've got some blue paint here for you. And good.
What are the blazes identify?
And they're done freehand. So you're doing it pretty great. So you always make sure there's lots of paint on the brush and just spread it out and keep it within the black outline.
Why blue?
Blue denotes a side trail,
Right.
as opposed to white blazes,
You should listen
which
to
are
what
the
you're
main
saying because you
trail.
already explained that.
So you're on a straight course, so the blaze is at eye level, and you see it from the trail.
What other colors are there?
The other color is white. But you want to be able to, from your blaze here, see the next blaze down the trail. And at the end of this side, where this side trail meets the main trail, there'll be basically a T-shaped blaze.
And then we would see white on the
Then you would see white on the main trail.
on the main trail.
Yes.
So you're out here every day, especially on beautiful days like this.
That's right.
What about in the winter?
Maybe not quite as much, but
Right.
people hike in the winter, and we've seen a huge growth in the number of people who are using the trail, especially in the Hamilton area on the Niagara escarpment.
Would I put one on this side too?
If you'd like to, you can do that.
Okay.
One of the issues that we do have is that the nature of Hamilton and the tree cover, a lot of ash, and ash trees are dying out because of the emerald ash borer. So you might come back here in another year and this tree will have toppled. In which case it's the trail maintenance volunteers who are going to have to go in and cut that tree.
Are you always looking for more volunteers?
We're always looking for more volunteers. We're trying to get more younger people because typically we're old retired guys like me, and
gals.
and and trying to get more women, to be honest, more women involved.
Right.
We are going to try and run a few weekend work parties so that people who work during the week are going to have an opportunity to come out.
Did I earn one of these hats?
So anyways,
Did I earn the hat?
you have earned your hat, so just a minute, let me get it out, because Tim, you've done great. And what section of the trail do you want to be responsible for?
What section?
Yeah, Each, we have 60 trail captains who are responsible for a section of the trail. Might be,
Where are you? What are you in charge of?
I'm in charge of all the trail, but I've got a particular trail in central Hamilton.
Do you have one in mind for me? That would be my own trail?
I could find it for you.
Yes, well, let me put one of
Oh,
these
but
hats.
you've got to wear your hat all the time.
Gotta wear my hat.
And
I need some long
identification.
pants and some proper hiking
yes,
shoes.
you do. But Tim, thank you very much. It's been fun, and people
Don't leave me
enjoy
hanging
it.
here, Peter. There we go. We got more work to do. Let's
Yep.
continue to cruise.
Okay.
Okay? All 960 kilometers today. Come on, Luke. Let's do it. Thanks, Peter.